Hello everyone, welcome back to Joy's Creative Finger. I've been playing around in the city this week and that was because of the back to school update. So I decided to build a glass loft penthouse. The flat roof is purely in place because I want you to see the interior walls of the loft. But the actual roof for this particular house is blue and it completely covers the loft space as you would expect it to. And that was hard to do. I had to keep maneuvering rooms around in order for the roof to close up in this way. But for the tour, we're going for the flat roof so that we can see the insides. It's very complicated building a loft in the city because the plot allocated spaces are quite narrow, and I had to make sense of the rooms around and about the patio space. They had to have some use, if you know what I mean. I hope that you would see that I was able to achieve that. I've decided to create an actual formal entrance from the lift to the front of the house, and the brick wall on the inside upstairs is a complete privacy screen for the master bedroom. So there's a fine entrance here, and the lift is completely isolated, which I thought would be a nice design for this house. Again, covered with glass all round and about. But when we get inside, you would see that I did everything I could to create privacy in the rooms that matter. This is the front entrance for the pool, but the actual entrance from the lift is here, you know, because the lift is separate from the build, so I have to create some kind of formal entrance in a way. Once you come in, you have a long corridor, and the staircase that goes up to the loft is right by the left side there. And then you have an archway that leads into the living room, which is actually the patio space. So this is Terza. She is the teen who lives in this house who will be attending the high school in the city. That's her mom coming downstairs. They are quite a pair. They don't really get along, obviously because she's in her teen years. Now, once we get around this corner, I've made use of this angle and created a little library section. You could sit down here, grab a book and read, and then you have a corridor that leads into the kitchen where her mother's boyfriend is cooking away. He likes to cook, he's always in the kitchen, and in some strange way she gets along with him much better than she does her mum. Well, I thought I'd create a different kind of kitchen, make it a bit stylish, make it unconventional, and yeah, I thought I'd organize it in this way. It's completely different, it's not formal, right? And I used some of the stainless steel worktops from the wedding event that we completed a couple of months ago, and I was able to get a kitchen that is sizable and functional. Any alteration to this kitchen would burst the roof up at the top. That was a challenge I faced in building this house. Every room had to make sense, and in the end I was able to get something symmetrical, which is unusual for what I was trying to do. I didn't particularly want it to be symmetrical, but it turned out that I could do that, and I was happy with that because I needed the outside of the building to look as nice and organized in some way as the inside is, so a symmetrical build worked quite nicely for this. This is the living and dining area. We've got a very large TV here, backing a nice wash sink that we'll look at later, and I have the daughter's bedroom right here through this glass door. There's a glass door there and here, and this is what it looks like from upstairs. And yes, there's no privacy for her, but she does have some privacy because she has these curtains around her bed, and we'll see that later. Now, the bathroom here is a guest bathroom. It's also the bathroom that the daughter would use, and I placed two showers in here on the left and right of that arched open door. I thought it was a nice touch. Now you have to imagine, once again, imagination is everything in this game, because in reality, if Sims FreePlay had the curtains that could slide shut and the windows stay the same color, then we wouldn't see her taking her bath, right? So the expectance that I would do something as realistic as possible within a game that isn't realistic is not realistic. Did you get that? No, seriously, if only we could also place those showers against curtains, that would then be perfect. So hey, people do build glass houses, so this is the best way I could do it. Now, as you see, her bed has the curtains that cover and wrap around the bed, so that's great. And then her study area is open to her mother, who likes to, well, she's a bit of a control freak. She needs to see that she's doing exactly what she said she is doing. And this is the overview for the ground floor for this glass loft penthouse. I keep missing the loft part. It's a mouthful, glass loft penthouse. So yeah, I've made use of the different rooms that have wrapped around that patio to the best of my ability. I think so anyway, and I was quite happy with it, really happy with it. So I'm going to get her mum to pop upstairs and let's have a look at her palace. It's a place that's completely dedicated to her mum, who lives in this city, and yeah, she's a big girl. She wants to enjoy her life, and she's doing that. So she is taking the lead upstairs, and this is her quarters. So you come in through that door, and this is her room, which is beautiful. And you did see from the outside that there is another wall there that gives her complete privacy. Again, whoever's downstairs, maybe towards this picture on the wall, might be able to catch a glimpse of her as well. So, I mean, her privacy is from the outside, not necessarily from the inside. And having a picture up there is beautiful, you know? There's nothing like having very high walls and being able to place a fantastic piece of art on it. So this is what she's got up here, and this is the reason why I've put the flat roof on, just for the tour, so that we can see it with the brick wall up. And there's a balcony out here where she can peek down and see who's knocking at the door. I thought that it would be nice to place a balcony there, just because. So now she has closet spaces on both sides of her room, loft room that is. I've got the shoes and the bags over here. Then she has this long corridor. Get back here. So yeah, she's got shoes and bags over on this angle here. So once she comes to this door, it pops open. Now you're wondering how I did that. I have a lot of glitch videos and I've shown how to do this, and I know that many people are new to the channel and ask these questions, but you know, take time to go through some of the videos and you'd see all the tips and tricks on how I do this. However, while building this house, which is towards the end of this video, I am going to do a glitch for a door and how I elevate a door to a space, and that should help. But otherwise, just look through most of the videos that I have put out over the year. So yeah, I like that she can swing a glass door open and access her bags, shoes, coats, and the mirror, which is interesting because she doesn't open the door to look in the mirror. Anyway, she's got a long corridor that leads to her dressing room. It's a gorgeous little dressing room here. It had to be the size, once again, it had to match the shape of the building downstairs in order to keep the roof closed when I put on the traditional roof. And yeah, I've set her down for 48 minutes while she's there. I just wanted you to see this little space behind this waterfall and the picture. It could be storage, so perhaps she would keep some boxes there or something like that. But yeah, the goal was to try and make sure that if you built this house, you would know that you could make use of every single angle. Now this is what I meant. Walking through and seeing her through those glass windows is just gorgeous. Imagine being downstairs and being able to see her movement. I think that's nice. Now this is the door to her bathroom. It's simply decadent in here. It's lovely. This is one of my favorite rooms because again, I've had to place some privacy screens around the bathtub and the sink, so she's, you know, hidden away nicely with just a glimpse of the pool really, but privacy is enough some. And this is what it looks like from the outside. So I think for the most important rooms there is enough privacy, and that basically completes the tour for the entire house. This is the overview of the upstairs part, which belongs to her alone. This particular house could be for a fashion designer also. Perhaps one of those rooms upstairs would be where you would place your fashion designing unit, or an artist living here could take up a whole room upstairs with lots of paintings. I'm going to show you how to place that painting up on a high wall during the live build, which is going to take place right now. And do remember, only a traditional roof covers the loft. So let's get started. Now there is one thing to do. I have to take off the staircase so that I can place windows all around upstairs, particularly in a corner at a right angle, and then I'll put the staircase back. Otherwise the windows won't stay in place. So I'm going to speed up at this point, and it's simply because it's a repetitive action. I'm going to keep doing this for at least another minute, and that's after being sped up. So basically I'm just placing the windows all around, and then it'll come back to a preferred pace once I'm done with that. The next thing to do now is place a door to come into that loft by the staircase. I have to glitch that. I need the Scandinavian doors. My glitching method is the same. It hasn't changed with all the updates. It's still working. So we'll use the white Scandinavian doors, place them at an angle, and then you can put down a square or a circle rug, it doesn't matter which. Then tug one of the walls that has the door on it to half the room. This one. And then bring the other white door onto the red one. Go up by one floor, go back down, go up again, and both doors are now in the air, or at least attached to the house somewhere. Now tap on this spot here, and it's in place. You can see that. Get rid of the other door, and it's in place. Now there's obviously a brick barrier at the bottom. All you have to do is leave the plot altogether into the city. And then all you have to do is go back into the house again, and it will be perfect. So you don't need to worry about that. So this is it. Now it's perfect. All you need to do is the very same thing for the doors on the side where I place the closets. Okay, so place your closets in anyway, and then do the same thing with single doors. Lift them up, tap them in front of the closets. Then of course remember you have to leave the plot altogether and then come back in so that the brick barrier would have disappeared and it would be seamless. And this is what it should look like when you're done. That television goes nicely against the 1x3 sink, so it's not an obstruction. And this is a very nice glass loft penthouse, and you could put in any kind of family in here. And let's see, let's take off this roof again so we can have another look from this view right here. Now we're going to place a picture here. I promised I was going to do that. That's the last glitch I'm going to do in this video, and then we should be done. Now bear in mind that glitches right now are very complicated and they fail, so you have to be patient. A lot of you ask for this, so I am going to do it. I place these artworks on the in and out of the build right there, and then on the opposite sides I place just one. So let me show you. Put one there and another one there. That's it. So we've got one on either side there and there, but just one on both of the opposite sides. Now you have to tug the room up half, tug the room down half, and then pull in from the side. One is flashing red. Take the one on the inside and place it against that and accept it. Then click on it, and it's showing me a blue tick, so that's good. Once I go up, one is on the body of the build, go back down, go up again. I believe I have both of them. The only way to find out is when I tap on the wall here. Yes. And if it didn't work, repeat the process again. I'm used to it, so I kind of know how to carefully get it done. You have to repeat the process again if it doesn't work, but trust me, it does. Now come out and make sure that it's in place before you delete the small house down at the bottom, or the small room. Because sometimes for some reason it takes off the artwork or whatever it is that you glitched earlier. I'm just going to place one of these waterfalls up front here where I had it originally, and there. You can obviously go ahead and put in stuff yourself, and this is it. I mean, the joy of a penthouse is having a lovely piece of art on a very high wall. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Have a lovely day and a lovely weekend. Bye.